as we begin our new chapter in League One after achieving automatic promotion last season. The board have given us £5 million, which is a lot more than I was expecting. We have got our man indeed, centre-back, left-footed, 66 rated on a free transfer. Welcome to Tranmere Rovers, Robbie D's. And we have our second signing of the season, Charlie Webster, centre midfielder, a much needed position to strengthen this season. We've got Stockport, our first game of the season, and then MK Dons after that. He's got the experience, 35 years of age. Welcome to Tranmere Rovers, Matt Ritchie. Stoke City have had a bright start to the season, as you'd expect. It's a no-brainer really to promote him to the first team, you know. He's physically imposing, 6'2", 182 pounds. That is a big dude right there. Now, as we know, throughout the save, we have struggled to score goals. What we have done though to try and fix that is a change of formation moving forward. It's going to be a 4-3-3 attacking formation. Cannon finds Longman. Longman is there. Longman with the shots on his right foot. Honestly though, whilst it wasn't the results that we wanted against Wrexham, I saw some positives with the new system. Hot inside, left foot. Oh, Mary Patrick! And that is why we want to give him the opportunity. The crossbar, big chance. Could he pull one back? Let's convert Omari Patrick to a striker moving forward. But our first signing of the January transfer window. Welcome to Prenton Park. Josh Mulligan, Peterborough have offered us the managerial position there, which of course we are going to reject. I tell you what, lads, I'm counting on him for this one. Charlie Webster, our joint top scorer in our competition. Got away from his man. He falls kindly to him. He chops into his left foot. Get it! Saunders, what a man, lifting our first trophy and possibly the only one of the season. 3 games to go, a lot to play for. So would it be automatic promotion or would we have to settle for the playoffs? He's actually spent over the top. Colin Parkin makes it 1-0 for us. Moments of truth, this one. Has Wrexham done us a favour? Yes, they have. Overlapping run there from Kegib. He finds the top left-hand corners and we get the victory. And we will be playing championship football for next season. Welcome back to episode number 20 of our Tranmere Rovers Road to Glory career mode, and back-to-back automatic promotions in the last 2 seasons have brought us to our first season in the championship. And what is our budget for the season? Let's take a look very quickly here. It is £5 million. Not bad. We can manage with that for this season. Honestly, we know we need to bring in a few players, but I think £5 million is decent for our first season in the championship. Let's start with the objectives then for the season. Domestically, they want us to avoid relegation and pretty much standard reach the round of 16 of the FA Cup. Within 2 seasons, they want us to finish mid-table in the championship. Youth development wise, they want us to sign 2 players younger than 20 years of age with potential greater than what is in the starting 11 right now, and sign 1 player into the youth academy assigned to the defender position. And brand exposure wise, within 2 seasons, increase the team's experience to 28 years of age. We had that objective last season. This season we will try and bring in a few more experienced players and hopefully get to that 28 years of age that the board wants us to get to. But within the same season, sign 1 crucial player and make profits of £8.5 million. That will be tough, but doable. And in terms of club customization, that would be the stadium. I'm happy to remain at the same stadium this season. Court Lane, Prenton Park, just under 19,700 in capacity, I believe. I'm happy with the blue stand, so that would remain the same. I mean, it's our first season in the championship, mind you. We don't need to be spending a lot of money in terms of making the stadium better or moving into a new stadium. Yeah, Court Lane, 19,677 there. I'm happy with that for our first season in the championship. And as per the Road to Glory career mode rules, we can go up to 3-star experience and 3-star judgment scouts, youth academy scouts, whilst we are in the championship. So far, we have managed to find 2 of them. It is quite difficult to find scouts, youth academy scouts, that you're looking for. We're still waiting for 1 more. Hopefully it shouldn't take too long and we can send them out on their mission for this season. We have Meha already and we have Ferrari, just like the supercar. Hopefully he can find us some superstars in the academy this season. I am feeling a little bit sentimental with the coaches that I've got here at the moment. I feel like, we have been on the journey together to this point. Maybe we should keep them, but then again, to stay up this season, we need the players to be better. We've got to be ruthless, especially Wilkinson's son. I said last season, if our goal scoring record does not improve, he will have to go. In the last 2 seasons, we have been one of the lowest scoring teams in the division. That is not good enough. It needs to improve, especially this season. If we don't score goals, we're not going to stay up, and that needs to improve. I'm going to sort out the coaches here, and I'll let you know once they have been sorted out. Okay, so let's meet the new coaching staffs then. You have got Clouchy, who has replaced Wilkinson as our new attacking coach for the season. You have got Henry Cross replacing Manning as our midfield coach in defense. George Duffy replacing Raven as our defensive coach. And Joel Shepherd replacing Giles as our new goalkeeping coach. I've got to be honest though, in the last 2 seasons, defense and goalkeeping has not been our problem. However though, we still need to improve given the fact that we will be facing much quality opponents, much better attacking threats this season compared to our last 2 seasons. But in terms of scoring goals, I'm hoping Clouchy would be the man to inspire this team to score more goals. We need to score more goals if we want to stay up this season. I forgot to show you this right from the very start, which I do apologize, but it's better late than never, right? We've brought in Fallon, Stankovic and Razani in this season, which, to be honest, they have cost us quite a fair bit, so hopefully they can find us 1 or 2 decent players. We already had Atkinson, Palmer and Lauritsen for the last couple of seasons, and the scouting mission for this season is already underway. Fallon is scouting in Denmark, Stankovic in Belgium, Razani in Germany. You've got Lauritsen scouting in France, Scotland, and Palmer is scouting in Scotland, and Atkinson at the moment, I believe, is scouting in England. The last couple of seasons, because we've been a lower division team, we've pretty much kept it England, Scotland, and Ireland. But this season, we have got into Europe a little bit, which it might be good for us. But in terms of the instructions, we're looking for a goalkeeper, early to mid-30s. We need experience there. We've got McGee, who have been sensational for us in the last couple of seasons. Player of the season twice in League 2 and in League 1, which is incredible. We've also got young Buckley, who we promoted from the youth academy last season, but I think it's best to send him out on loan, which is why we're looking for a goalkeeper. We're looking for a centre-back. Hopefully we can find a replacement for our captain, Tom Davies, who is in his last legs right now, I've got to be honest. So hopefully someone who can replace him. We've got Cameron Norman, but at 64 rated, we cannot rely on him to be our starting choice and right-sided centre-back for the season. He's going to play a lot of games, but just not as a starting centre-back. We're looking for a more experienced left-back, Arthur Stewart. He's only 18, someone that offers us more experience in that position. We're looking for a striker as well, early to late 20s. We've got Cameron, Davison, we've got Taylor, and we've also got Adamson, who we promoted last season. But all of those strikers might not be good enough to score us the goals that we need in the championship this season, considering how much we struggled to score goals in the last couple of seasons. But we're also looking for a left winger, right winger. If we can find one of them, that would be amazing. And as we always do, we're scouting for players between 23 and 28 years of age who has got a year in their contracts that we could potentially get on a free, or maybe look at signing in a free transfer for next season. But the scouting mission is on the way, and hopefully we will find a couple of decent players that we can bring in this season. And here is our first outgoing of the season. It is Declan Drysdale, who has never been the first name of the team on the team sheet, but he's been important for us nonetheless in the last couple of seasons. He joins the Polish side, Pogoń Szczecin, for £210,000. Good luck to him. We've got a few more outgoings to update you on them. We already know about Declan and Drysdale. I almost said Declan Rice then. But Ruben Egan joining Kayserispor, the Turkish side, for 170k. Ian Robertson and Sam Taylor both heading out on loan to CD Eldense, the Spanish side Aries, I believe, and Legia Warsaw, who is the Polish side for Sam Taylor for the remainder of the season. Ian Robertson, of course, we know we've got high hopes for him. We promoted him from the youth academy to the first team at the end of last season. Let's see how he develops on loan for the remainder of the season. Hull City have put in an offer for £1.45 million for Robbie Dees, a player that we signed on a free last season, and is going to be crucial to us staying up this season, hopefully. But £1.45 million, I tell you what, we could consider this. But then again, Hull City are one of those teams that will be fighting to avoid relegation with us this season. And do we want to strengthen our relegation fighting rival for the season? I don't think so. I'm going to reject this one, actually. If we get a better team in for him, we might be tempted to do that deal. I'm going to reject this one again for Adamson on a season-long loan. I want to loan him to a team where I think he's going to play a lot of games. So now that we have managed to sell and loan out a few players, it's time to bring in one or two signings of our own. A lot of these players in the shortlist have been recommended by our scouts, but there are one or two players that we have had to search for, which means we can only go for them on loan deals. Couple of decent suggestions on the comments, by the way, so thank you very much for that. One of those being the centre-back, Nathan Phillips, I believe. Yeah, he is currently at Liverpool, a lot of experience, 29 years of age. Of course, he knows the city very well, being at Liverpool for a long time. He's also had championship experience. I do like this deal. It is a realistic deal to do if we can get a season-long loan for him, but we will wait for his final scout report. Another player that was suggested in the comments, it's Justin Divini, who, oh my god, physically he looks really good, technically even better. The question is, will Crystal Palace loan him out to us? He's got 11 months left in his contract, which means if we can't sign him on a loan deal this season, we might end up signing him on a free next season if his contract runs out. But again, another really good suggestion. Some good comments for Aiden Denholm. Apparently, he does look good in game. You know, our scouts have given us this player, suggested this player for us for the last couple of seasons now. Maybe this is the right time to go for him. He looks like a little technician in midfield, doesn't he? I'm not a big fan of his strength, but that is something that might just get better. Technically, he looks really good. But a signing that we're going to go on and complete here very quickly, a free agent, Rhys Williams, talking about knowing the city, Liverpool Academy, made about 9 appearances in the league in the 2019-2020 season for Liverpool. I know that season where we had a lot of centre-backs injured. He was one of the emergency centre-back that played last season. I expected a lot better from him, but it's not quite worked out. A couple of low moves that's not gone according to plan, and he's a free agent now. He's 6'5", which I really do like that aerial threat in this division in the Championship. Let's go ahead and get this deal done. I think we've got a really good deal here. You know, one of the things that I like about him, as I've said, is that aerial presence. 6'5". He's got a lot of experience. Premier League, Championship, even League One. He would have been on loan at Morecambe in our first season on the save. Like I said, it's not quite worked out for him, but hopefully we can revive his career here at Tranmere Rovers. He gets the number 4 shirt. It's only 6.5k in wages, which it's not too bad, and it's 20k in signing on bonus. Welcome to Tranmere Rovers, Rhys Williams. And so we have almost or pretty much got the final scout reports for all the players in the shortlist right now. About 1 or 2 we're still waiting for, Jordan Obita being one of them, and any other player we've still got Carlson, who we're waiting for his final scout report. But one deal we want to try and do is, if we can, it's Nat Phillip. Let's not forget, as per the Road to Glory rules again, we cannot sign a player over 72 rated in our first season in the championship. Nat Phillip is 71 rated. His wages might be a little bit of a problem, but I think we might be in a position to pay half of that if we can get the player on loan. This club isn't willing to negotiate transfers with a rival club. Ain't no way Liverpool will. I get they are in the same city, but no way Liverpool would consider Tranmere Rovers as a rival club. That is just insane, man. That would have been a decent deal for us. But EA at it again. What can we do about that? That is just ridiculous. Let's try for Justin Divini, who was 71 rated again. Wages slightly less than 46k of Nat Phillips. So this might just be a much better deal, actually, in terms of wages, if we can get him on loan. The player contract is too short and the club will not consider loaning him out at this time. He's got 11 months left in his contract, as we pointed out before. He could be one to watch out for on a free for next season. But let's do a left-back signing. We need a more experienced left-back. And we have got Lubambo Musonda here, who's got so much pace. At the moment, he will be our starting left-back, 31 years of age, if we can get this deal done. However, you would expect over the next season or two, Arthur Stewart would take over. Arthur Stewart being 63 rated right now, I don't think he's good enough to be our starting left-back in the championship. So why not bring in someone with more experience? 470, it's coming down. I know it's only 20k, but I'll go back to the 450 again. I think we can get the deal done here at 450. It's not what they want, but let's tidy up the paperwork and sort out his contract. You don't always need the flashy signing. You don't always need a young player that have got ridiculous potential sometimes to achieve things as a team. Well, here is one of those experienced players that we probably don't know anything about, and we might never know anything about, but at 31 years of age, Lubambo will become our starting left back this season. It's not a lot of money spent, 450k a week, 450k to sign him rather, not 450k a week. That is a lot of money, but our second signing of the season, it is a left back. Welcome to the club, Lubambo Musonda. You know, bringing in a striker is where we want to spend considerable amount of our budget this season, and we definitely will be breaking our transfer record, which is at the moment 920k that we spent on Charlie Webster last season. We will break that by a considerable amount. So far, I'm leaning towards Samson Tavide and Richard Kone, who's doing amazing things for Wickham in real life right now. 18 goals he scored in the league this season. And I tell you what, if Wickham don't get promoted in real life, there will be a championship team looking at him for sure. Tavide being 6'2", he's really quick. He's the slightly cheaper option. His hold-up play is quite good. And honestly, not much difference in technical abilities of both players. Tavide, it's still the same thing. We cannot sign this player. He's too important. It's been like that for over a season now, which is crazy. We've also got Zach Lovelace, who we have scouted for the last couple of seasons. Of course, we can only sign him on loan. But look at that, though. His wages somehow have dropped to 6k a week. We tried to sign him in our first season when he was 6'2" rated. At the time, his wages was 22k a week. Somehow, it's dropped to 6k a week. Did Millwall get relegated last season? That would make sense, but I don't think so. I'll have a look at that shortly. But I think we will just go for Richard Kone here. £2.2 million though. That is a lot of money. And like we said, it will take a huge chunk of our transfer budgets. Okay, 2% sell-on clause, but this time, you know what? We want to move that up to 5% to sweeten the deal a little bit. And let's just give them £2 million here. Initially, I wanted to pay less than 2 million, but it is what it is. Yes, we will tidy up the paperwork, £2 million, and that smashes our record transfer fee that we paid for Charlie Webster last season. But man, this could well be our most important signing this season, given the fact that we have struggled to score goals in the last 2 seasons. £2 million on a striker. I'm hoping he's the player responsible for scoring the goals that would keep us in the championship this season. This, for me, I think, is a bargain at £2 million. He's 23 years of age, just about going into his peak. He gets his number 10 shirt as well, which is good to see. But 10k a week, that makes him our highest paid player in the team, which makes sense. £2 million record signing, highest paid player. Welcome to the football club, Richard Kone. So with the signings of Musonda, Kone, as well as Reece Williams slotting into the starting 11 there, we look much better than last season. But can this team stay up in the championship? I still think we need a centre midfielder, given the fact that we've only got Mary on the bench, and I want to play Webster more in that number 10 position this season. We still need a goalkeeper, but first I'm waiting to loan out Buckley, who I think he's 18 years of age. That's very young to make him our starting goalkeeper this season. A loan move would be decent for him, and possibly either one more centre back or a right back before the end of the transfer window. Maybe we can do all three, or we might have to wait until the January transfer window. Who knows? But at the moment, I think we are much improved compared to last season. We will go into our first game of this episode then, which is 5 days away. We're at home in front of the home fans at Prenton Park. We have got the likes of Cardiff, first game of the season, Barnsley. We've got Stoke City. Barnsley, by the way, that one is in the EFL trophy, the Carabao Cup. We've got Portsmouth and Swansea, our first 5 games in the league this season. You know, the way I see this season is that we have got to make Prenton Park a fortress if we want to stay up. Usually you need in and around 45 points to stay up in the championship. What, 24 teams in the league? That means 23 home games and 23 away games. Out of those 23 home games, if we win 10 of those games at home, that puts us on 30 points. I do believe the remainder of those 15 points, we can make it up away from home. The starting 11 there, our new signings, all start. Hopefully, they can give us the advantage in this game, or at least make us better from last season. Let's take a look at the Cardiff starting 11. They've got Gallagher up front. They've got Chris Willock in midfield, who will be the brother, of course, of Willock, playing for Newcastle right now. Robbie Dees, he might not hold the captain's armband, but he's pretty much the leader of that back line. We brought him on a free last season. He's been superb for us ever since we brought him, and what a signing. Leo Connor would predominantly be our captain this season. It still remains Tom Davies. However, he's 58 rated. I don't see him playing too many games this season, but when Tom Davies starts, we know, of course, that he's our captain. Oh, a chance. What a chance. Excellent pass there by Ken Gibb, though. Come on, make the run. Here we go, Musonda. That's the pace. That's why we signed him. Can we get a pull back? It's gone for a cross. The cross blocked. Hendry goes for it. We've been by far the better team in this opening 22 minutes of the half, you know. Tell you what, I'll take a 0-0 going into the first half right now. But Cardiff with one last attack. Oh, Robertson finds Gallagher. Gallagher tries to go for the far post. And Cardiff have got a corner here to end the half. Can we deal with this? Williams going for it. You're 6'5", son. You can't be beaten in a header like that. He stays down injured, which is not good news. Hopefully, it's nothing too serious there. 72 minutes into the second half. I'll take the point right now. Gallagher spins these. Oh, Williams trying to close him down, but good save. Substitutions just to freshen the team up here. Going into the final 15 minutes of this game or so. We are looking pretty knackered out there. We get one cross, one last cross, quickly closed down though. Leo Connor, but he fights back to win possession. Tries to play the pullback rather, to Enes Cameron, but it is well defended. And that would be it for our first game of the championship season. It's a 0-0 draw, not a bad start. I said we need to pick up 30 points at home this season. Well, it's a good start for us because that's our first point in our first game of the season. It's only going to get more difficult, but I'll take the point here. Be a shame if we have to lose him for a long time, After just one appearance for his new club, Rhys Williams, thankfully, it's only a bruised elbow and he's going to be out for the next 5 days. He's not going to play the next game, but no problem. It could have been one of those silly broken toe or broken elbows injuries that you get a lot of in the game. But smash a like on the video if you have enjoyed this one. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you're new to it. And I will see you all in the next episode, hopefully with a few more signings. Thanks for watching and bye for now.